I already had my coffee.
All right.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to Cafecito Time.
Memorial
I
weekend.
am your host, Marisol Herrera.
And Chingo Bling.
Chingo bling culero.
The number one freestylero.
Hey. Well, happy Memorial Day to everyone. My morning started off kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting out there reading a book.
Out in the backyard.
In the backyard, had my feet in the water with my coffee. And then I hear the side gate opening. I thought it was you. And then I turn around and it's the pool guy. I mean, like every female that's in their house, they're probably walking around with no bra.
In the
bata. Which is exactly what I did. And I was like, hi. As I'm trying to hold my breast so it didn't like jiggle while I walk. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. No, don't worry about it. I'm getting out of here. I'm like trying to hold my coffee, my cup, and I'm like,
Trying to hold, cover everything.
I was like, I didn't think they worked on Memorial Day. Who works on Memorial Day?
Juggle, cover,
Yeah.
huddle, carry.
I was like, oh my God, that was so
You're like,
embarrassing.
do I carry this titty and this cup?
Exactly.
And then this other titty with this book?
Oh my God, Jesus. But seriously, I was so embarrassed. Now we're cool now, me and him. I guess he done saw me, you know? We're like on a personal level now at this point.
Damn.
Like my pool guy. What's up, pool guy?
What if he's like, it's okay, it's ma'am. He's like, don't worry, I'm a woman too.
Oh my God. Imagine.
Yeah, I was surprised to see them here on
On Memorial Day, right? Is that usual? I thought they came on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they're not working.
I'm confused. Yeah, I need an update. I gotta go check my email for the pool people.
Why are y'all here on Monday? Just kidding. Well,
why y'all work so hard?
We're working. I mean, I guess, kind of. Podcasting's always fun.
Being parents, that's work.
That's always work.
Entertaining these children.
Luisa's off today.
Yeah.
You know, so it's up to us.
We gotta watch our own kids.
Jesus. I did a lot of cleaning yesterday.
The whole day.
It literally took me the whole day. I had decided that I was going to focus on getting rid of all the clothes and shoes that these girls do not wear anymore. And
so it's like decluttering, basically.
Yeah, I was decluttering, about 6 bags full. And
poppets.
I mean, just all sorts of stuff. And you know what's crazy? And I'm sure a lot of parents, right? Like, I guess we always try to do more than what we had, right?
Yeah.
And I think then that becomes a problem because Penelope was asking what fortunate means. Mm-hmm. Because I kept saying, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And she was like, yeah, get rid of it. It's old. Not understanding that old item costs money. And it's like no big deal to her. And then she'll say stuff like...
She thinks the toys just spawn themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So... and this is one of the things I told you I wanted to work on, remember, was making like a poster size register where we put how much money she has, and anytime she wants to purchase something, she needs to deduct it from her money. She's got to pay me for it. Mm-hmm. So that she can start understanding how money works, because my kids don't really ask for stuff. They're just given stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's just be real.
Yeah. Oh, Thea brought you something.
Yes. every time my sister comes, every time my mom comes.
Sometimes the babysitter will be like,
yeah, even the babysitter will be like, oh, you know, because she'll get, I don't want to say she goes, I guess, what is that called? Trash dump diving? Or what is that called? Dumpster diving. But I guess it's more like she drives around and she'll find things that then she sells at the pulga, you know?
Oh, okay.
Or she'll see things at the pulga that the girls can use. Mm-hmm. For example, that crib, she bought it for Sunny. Now, the difference between our kids is that Sunny actually plays with these things.
The toy doll crib.
The toy doll crib, yes. Penny, on the other hand, I don't think she's playing with dolls anymore. It's more of a crafting, coloring.
She wants to make YouTube videos.
Yeah, so she's kind of like outgrown
and
this.
We just saw how much money Ryan
make? So we want to make YouTube videos too.
Yeah. Ryan is making $100 million. His net worth is $1 million.
Right.
$100 million.
Right.
The mom saw the vision from day one. We saw the beginning videos. Mm-hmm. The mom saw the vision, and the dad did. Really, it was more the mom, because the dad really, I think, wasn't as involved. I don't know if he might have had a real job. That's probably why. She was probably the stay-at-home mom. And all she did was record him opening toys and reviewing the toys and talking. And she'd be behind the camera recording him. And
just
remember?
just
the
basic
very
tools,
beginning ones.
And then being consistent.
And then they went to more things, and they got, well, you have to keep getting creative. That's the problem with YouTube, right? You have to continuously, like, get creative. What's today's topic about? What are you going to do? The problem with Penny is she doesn't really take direction well when it comes to YouTube's, because she has her own vision. She wants to make her own videos. She directs her friends when they come over, and then they're fighting because they also want to do what they want to do.
Have speaking lines.
And the only thing is, when Miles comes, that's who she prefers to work with, because Miles likes to act.
Yeah.
So he likes to be directed, and Penny likes to direct.
Yeah.
So that pair right there is the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
And
she's like, let me give you the lines.
Yes,
it's like, okay.
and Miles is ready. Yeah. And, and then, poor Tegan wants to, like, play, too, wants to be a part of it, but she wants, like...
They got her holding the light.
Yeah, she wants to participate, like, actually do something, Yeah. And she's like, no, Tegan, like, she wants to say her own thing, and you know how Val is. She wants to be the director, and she wants to tell you
improvising on my set.
Yeah, basically. It's like, oh, this is how it's going to go.
Did you not get a copy of the script?
Yeah, basically. And Miles is more of the actor. He's going to do what
the lines.
Yeah, but he's so funny. I love him. Y'all, he's so hilarious. They were over my house. These are our neighbors' kids, by the way. They're the only other kids in our neighborhood.
Pretty much.
There are no other kids here. It's our kids and their kids. And there's one that comes every other weekend, but there's no other kids here. Anyway, I had told Sonny to get my cup in Spanish, and it was my pink cup. And then Tegan brought it for me. I said, okay, Tegan. I said, you know Spanish? And she goes, poquito, like, saying like she knows, she's taking it in class. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, Miles, do you know Spanish? He goes, oh my God, y'all can't see this, but his face was so adorable. He goes, gracias. It was the funny. I mean, it's not funny when I'm telling you guys because y'all weren't there and you couldn't see his little face, but he's so little. He's so cute.
He's trying to give you the right answer.
And he tries to give you the right answer. And then, did Penny ever upload the video of him being Spider-Man? That whole.
I think so, yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm. So if y'all go on YouTube, guys, it's just hilarious. I guess for me as a parent, it's hilarious because I saw the whole thing go down. Like, all right, Miles, you ready? Now you're going to do this.
It just sounded like they were just like playing. Next thing you know, Penny's editing.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Y'all remember that last cough when I was on Cafecito Time? It's still a lingering cough.
Still ain't went to the doctor.
I mean, it's allergies. Yeah. What are they going to do? I'm just going to go pay for them to say, here's your allergy medicine. Thanks.
Unless it starts turning into like a, oh, okay, you got like what, can they prescribe something for congestion? Besides like over-the-counter Mucinex, what
That's probably what they're going to tell me.
Interesting.
Now, if they do it over the counter, I mean, if they call it in to the pharmacist, and then I give my insurance card, then I don't have to pay for it. That's the only thing about it. That was something new I learned. I didn't know that.
That's a new thing. Anybody listening, man, how do we keep the discussion going? I guess in the comments, if this goes on YouTube or something, which it hasn't been. But the conversation.
But you can use a picture, right? And then just the audio.
We could build a little video out of it. Yeah. What I was gonna say, allergies. Like, if anybody has any kind of like
home
regimen,
remedy?
Because I know like some people just swear by the rinses. Like, just different people suffer from allergies, and it depends on what you're allergic to and where do you live and all this stuff. But like I know my sister's is probably like real bad.
Which one? Both or Balila? Oh, hers are
real
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Does she take anything?
Man, I think at one point she was getting shots or something from because it would just like put her out.
I mean, it can. Like, it really can. Yeah. It's like that headache. Remember that day I was just like, I can't. Like, I was miserable. I was like, oh my God, this headache is insane. And I'm one of those that doesn't really like to take medicine unless, like, you know, it's just like I can't take it. In that day, I really told, like, I think I took 3 Advils, right?
Damn. Oh, yeah.
Remember that headache?
That was probably like a migraine or something.
I don't know, but that's when it kicked off. Then the next day it was like right now I have the headache, but it's just right here. It hasn't hit like.
Maybe you're suffering withdrawals because you know that I got shows coming up. I'm going out of town.
Ooh, you're going to be gone for a month.
Well, first for a weekend.
For the weekend.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, Hyenas, May 29th through the 31st.
Come through.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. A whole weekend in Albuquerque. That's like great.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to like trying to like some of these other cities where like I might currently only be doing like a Thursday or a Sunday, turn it into
a weekend.
Even if it is at another spot, you know, because it's like super. I'm really looking forward because a couple of jiu-jitsu gyms hit me up too. Like I'm trying to remember all the names of them, but like people in the comments like Albuquerque, this is where it's at. Pull up. And then my boy Damasio Page.
Oh, yeah, he's Damasio? Out there. Yeah, right.
So the way I met Damasio, let me tell you this story. And this is, like, hilarious because this is, like, me before being a 5-star combat athlete.
Ay, hueso.
Martial artist. Cabrón. No
calm down.
Viejito de Javi. No, this is back when Crisco Kid hit me up and was like, hey, they're doing this pilot episode. They're filming like this series where basically they're going to pair up like a rapper, entertainer with MMA, UFC type person. So they're filming these different episodes. And so I had never done anything like wrestling, like sprawl. I didn't know what, like intense warm-ups, just really out of shape. So there I was paired up with Damasio and the producers, they were trying to get, like, a good episode. So, at one point, they tried to, like, set me up, like, get in my head where we're, like, on the way to that gym, which is a famous gym. I think, what's the chick from Home? Katie Home?
Oh,
Holly Home.
Holly Holmes.
Yeah, Holly Home, I think, trains there and all that. But anyway, the producer's like, oh, man, this little dude we pairing you up with to work today, man, this dude, man. I was like, oh, yeah, for real? Like, what's up? He's like, man, this dude, you almost killed the guy. Like, just trying to, like, get in my head, right? Like, oh, man, popped that dude's shoulder straight out the socket. Like, lifted him up, you know, did this. And he's like, yeah, dude's crazy. Yeah, man. So trying to, like, plant the seeds in my head. And then Damasio, you know, we're just, like, filming the episode. And he has me doing some kind of warm-up and just like a basic thing, like, hey, if someone shoots for your hips, you know, sprawl. Okay, cool. Like, that was it. That was my entire MMA training. And then they're like, all right, y'all are getting in the octagon. We're going to lock y'all in the cage together. And I'm like, huh? Well, okay, what kind of scene? What type of, what we doing?
What's my line? Who's my stunt double?
Yeah. So, like, for real? And then, so they must have told him on his end, like, whispered in his ear, like, just try to like punk him, like just go straight to him, like you trying to kill him, like you're like you about to go full force, just so we could get the shot. That
oh my God, what I would do to be there,
dude. So I'm there, kind of like I haven't been given that much instruction, and y'all just locked us in this cage. Okay. Like what? Hold on, like what are the rules?
I
like,
can't even believe you went for it. That's crazy.
No, but like think about it, like on some sparring shit, like they would tell you, all right, so we're going, we're going light.
They could have at least given you like a coach.
Like, can we kick? Are we doing takedowns? Like, is it just stand up?
What? Did you even know those terms?
Not really.
Okay.
So I was just kind of like, what are we doing?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Oh, so they're like, ding, ding, ding. He just like goes straight like bulldog, like full force, because he's an actual fighter. He already did the UFC. What's that show? The competition one where they're like living like reality.
Yeah.
He did that one. And so he was like super legit already. And so he's coming straight toward me, and I'm just like, hey man, what we doing? Kind of like, am I gonna get kicked in the head? do head kicks count?
Yeah.
But that's just really the shot they wanted. Like, all right, cool. That we need that for the trailer. Like, what we doing? What we doing?
Oh my god.
So yeah, I have the footage. I think we put it up. I think Frank and I put it up on because the show never came out. So I think we just threw it on YouTube.
Oh.
Like kind of like vlog style. But the point of the matter is, I'm going to Albuquerque. I always link up with Damasio, like, every time I'm out there. And I always tell him, like, man, you inspired me. Like, you're part of the inspiration of actually pursuing. Really, it was Marisol telling me everybody in this house needed activity. Like a kid, you got your boy in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I always tell him, like, man, you inspired me. And, like we have that little connection.
Yeah. He's cool, though.
Yeah, no, he's super
cool.
cool. Yeah. I walked him into the ring, one of his fights here in Houston.
Oh, really?
Like, you know, like I helped hold the banner with the sponsors on there.
When was that?
When?
Were we together?
Probably, yeah. Probably like early in our relationship.
Okay. That's new. I didn't know that one.
You don't remember that? I don't know. I mean, it might have been right before I met you.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Because I would want to know why I didn't get to go to the fight. That's my concern right now. How come I didn't get to go to that fight? You know, anything that has to do with fighting matches, like I got to tag along. Like when you got to go to Vegas, and I was like, and it was the same weekend as Canelo. I said, you know, I'm tagging along, right? Because Canelo's fighting.
We're gonna run into Cinnamon.
And we have to go. And that was the most. Which we need to reach out to them to see how they're doing after the loss of their daughter. We need to just kind of, text and see how they're doing. But they got us in to go watch. It was the most ghetto way we got in, but it was hilarious. And they came through, bro. We got to watch the Canelo fight and everything.
Yeah, because first it was like, hey, so we're all going to the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Michael Blackson, you know what I mean? Like, we're all going to the weigh-ins. And it's like, okay, well, we waiting a little bit. I think we're waiting on somebody. Okay. And then that was a whole ordeal. Well, we finally made it in there. And in
the lowrider cars.
Oh, yeah, we pulled up in lowrider.
And it was scorching hot.
Super hot. Pobrecito Michael Blackson had on a 3-piece dashiki.
That was crazy. And it was boiling hot. Even he was like, okay.
Even he.
He was like.
Why do you say even he?
He was
like he's used to heat.
No, even he he was like, "Wow, it is so hot." He had a towel and everything. I guess he knew that already, but
especially being like picture ready, dressed up, like not comfortable.
He was like,
it's like show ready. Like
he was like show ready for sure. I don't know if he thought maybe the weigh-in was indoor, like maybe it was like, aren't they sometimes indoor?
Yeah.
So maybe he thought it was going to be indoor. That part was not maybe instructed correctly. I don't know.
And then when it's time to get into the actual fight, the Canelo fight, we can't even remember who the hell he was fighting. And we were waiting out there, and it was one of those like, yeah. So look, we're gonna come right back out, right, and get you. And then at one point they started making us move. You know, where they're like, hey, y'all can't be right here.
Oh my God. And then you walk the red carpet.
And then Santa Fe Clan.
I thought, he's going to walk the red carpet. Oh, this will be easy. We just go in there like, where's your
But
tag?
I just walked the red carpet.
You're like, yeah, you still need a tag. What?
I'm Chingo Bling, Urban Jungle, Houston, Texas.
You know, me? Chingo Bling Culero.
Blue Belt.
That was funny though. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then Santa Fe Clan and then Tornillo.
Yeah, they all were there because they were walking in with him.
Yeah.
Super humble. I didn't even know that. I thought they were just there for the fight, so it was kind of cool to have seen him. And then, then they're
on stage.
On stage, and we're all like, "What?"
Yeah, super humble. No,
yeah.
Pues aquí andamos.
We have some. Oh yeah. When they interviewed him, right?
No, I asked him too. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I just want to say what's up." No, sí, carnal. Pues aquí andamos. What were you gonna say?
I forgot. No, that was like, cool little experience. But I was saying, I tag along to the Canelo fights or any type of fight, and I was like, wait, can I come? Sometimes I'd be feeling bad, like I'd be feeling like.
Well, but you an actual boxer though.
No, I was not, but I just feel like sometimes like people are like, why his girl gotta come? You know how it's always like that, like, why that guy's girl always gotta be there? Why she can't?
Making sure shit runs smooth.
Basically, that's how it's done. All right, you wait here, Pete. Let me go see what's going on. Then I go see what's going on. I'm like, all right, we cool. Let's do it. This is what we're gonna do.
You know what's crazy is in the rapper days when you're doing like nightclubs and like there is no green room and it's just a different element. You know what I mean? To where, for example, you're in the vehicle out back and now somebody has to do what you just described. Like, let me go in there. You know what I mean? Let me make sure, like, let me see what the crowd is like. Let me see what security's like what area, like sound check, those types of things. It's kind of like ghetto when you think about it.
It is kind of ghetto.
Yeah, because it's like, imagine somebody hopping out.
They do all the celebrities like that?
No. I'm just saying, like, when you're at that level, when you know how there's different tiers of like how much pool you have, and how much you could charge, and what type of venues you're doing, and how picky, and you know, are you bringing a band, and this ain't the right speaker system, or Don Omar ain't performing shit until y'all got 50,000 watts behind all these amps or whatever. This ain't the right lighting show that was in the writer, the agent with this. But no, I'm talking about like my rapper days where it's kind of like, okay, you're in, you name it, you know, Victoria, Texas or something at this like salon or nightclub, or you're in, you know, you're in Fort Worth, some nightclub. So you have, it's dark, it's nighttime, you're pulling around back. It might be a gravelly type of parking and it's like, okay, here's the back door. Obviously, your manager's in touch with the promoter, but still, somebody got to go in there and see what's going on. Who's up next? Are they on schedule? When do we, you know, who are we after? Come give me a heads up. Like, when do we go in so you don't start getting bombarded with chaos?
Well, you know what's crazy is when I went to La India, her concert, they had her in this, like, it almost looked like this little, like, maybe that's where they stored stuff.
That was their green room?
That was their green room. I mean, they had a chair for her. And there was, like, a couch in there. But it almost seemed like...
weird backstage.
Yeah, it was like a weird backstage. Like, it's almost like they made it up. Like, they took everything out of the storage room, and they just put a couch and a chair for her, and this, like, long mirror. I remember just thinking, like, this is what... I remember, I mean, not knowing... But I just thought,
well, because to you, it's
celebrities?
Like, because to you, it's like she's an amazing artist and like an icon, and it's like, damn, it's crazy.
So I thought they were gonna have like her green, you know, the way they show it in the movies, like this badass, you know, like
candles.
The light, you know, the mirror with the circle bulbs and the chair that says La India, and so that's what I was picturing. It was like,
y'all ain't got her name?
It was a chair.
It didn't have her name on it.
A long mirror and then a couch.
No end table.
And then there was a table.
A lamp?
No, I don't think I saw a lamp, but I did see a table, like a coffee table, and the coffee table had like waters and some snacks. It was like now that I know what a green room is and what's supposed to be back there, what a writer is, what all that is. Obviously, I didn't know any of that. Now when I think back, I'm like, wow, that was a really ghetto.
Well, if you were her agent or manager,
setup.
Yeah, if you were her manager, you'd have demanded a little something.
Cold brew.
She bring her to. They're like, oh, India want cold brew. Like, no, that's for me.
No, that's for me. That's what I do to Chingo's writer, y'all. Shh.
Cold brew. It's a bunch of shit she like. Let me tell you what's on my rider.
Let me tell you what's on my rider right quick. They're always like, we're the simplest. It's always red wine and cold brew, and that's it. And water.
And lately, it's no red wine.
Yeah, lately it's been no red wine.
Lately, it's just, okay, there's waters here already, cool, trail mix. You know, maybe next time we'll start adding in some little beef jerky sticks or something. But it's like, okay, you know what? Just bring me a Diet Coke.
It's the simplest things ever. Like, we're probably one of the simplest. Well, everybody's always said to us, or to me, mostly. It's smooth. Like, man, you guys don't even ask for nothing. And they'll send me a message. Is Chingo's rider still the same? Yep, still the same. Nothing's changed. Iced tea. You know, nothing's changed at all.
If we really want to get picky, this kind of cigar I'm gonna need.
They're like, sir, we need you to bring it down. You're up here. Yeah. We need you down here.
Like, let me pull up your YouTube views on your special. It's the one that people always talk about is it Marlon Wayans, where they're like, he wants like one rotisserie chicken per show, like a bottle of liquor.
Such a random
per show, like bottle of liquor.
And he doesn't even finish it.
That it's just there just in case. But I kind of get the rotisserie chicken a little bit.
Why?
This is why.
Because maybe the food there, sometimes it's inconsistent.
You're going all these different places.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, if you think about it, right? If you're going to all these different places, and it's like, man, it varies from like, what am I going to eat? Onion rings, French seasoned fries, burger, like pizzas and wings and all that. It might hurt your stomach. When it's like, all right, every town in America that we tour in is going to have a grocery store of some sort where they can run and get a rotisserie chicken. That way you already know. Chances are it's cooked. You know, they'll use their good... pick the right one that still looks hot or whatever, you know, get it at the right time. And now you know you're going to have protein. You're going to have something consistent versus like gambling. Yeah, and then it's one per show.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're that hungry. I don't know. But, I mean, there's been times, I remember even more so when I was bodybuilding and I would travel with you and there was like all the food that was there was just not
junk,
edible. Like it was just like, oh my God, I can't have like any of this.
A lot of the places, not all of them.
And I just remember my head hurting so bad because I was so hungry and I can't eat any of that. I think I ended up getting peanuts from the bar. One time. Damn. I got peanuts from the bar because I was like...
I guess you didn't prepare with bringing...
I was done with my meals, but I ate them so early because I was hungry. And I was like, okay, what's the one? I could have a boiled egg that would probably not do much harm. Peanuts. But, you know, you're going to do this to the peanuts. I was, like, thinking about that. I could probably have done broccoli, but I don't know if they had...
We need somebody bring her one little piece of broccoli.
Yes.
4 almonds and a boiled egg.
Yeah, that is exactly what my snack pack was, remember?
The snack pack.
10 almonds.
10 almonds.
10 almonds. A cup of broccoli. That was one snack. I don't even know. Remember, we would even say, like, why are those snacks even together? They don't even make sense. Remember?
Wasn't it like a hummus and broccoli or something?
It was like such a random, like a snack to where I was like...
your nutritionist was trying to hit all the little macros.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know how these two go together, but okay, I'm going to have to eat them because 1, I'm hungry. And 2, you know...
I done paid this lady.
I'm just going to be honest with y'all. If there's one thing I hate to think about, I hate to know about, I just don't even want to think about it, it's nutrition. I hate it with, like, a passion. Like, anytime I trained someone and they would ask, do you do nutrition? I'd say, absolutely not.
Hell to the no.
And then here is the person you can call. I will train you all day long. I will do all sorts of anything with you when it comes to the fitness. I feel like food is such a tedious job, which is why I don't know why I'm not a skinny person, because I hate thinking about food. I don't like to think about my next meal. I just want it to be ready. Like, it just needs to be in the fridge where I grab it. And that's partially a lot of my problem.
So what we should probably do right here on this episode.
Y'all heard it first.
With everybody listening. So look, pick a menu.
You tell me this every time.
So okay, let's say hypothetically. Let's say I picked it right now. Live on the air. Mm-hmm. Let's say for dinner, we're going to, and we can... figure out the
macros. And I used to have good meals. Don't think that these were like when you're in competition, your meals are totally different. They're very specific, and you take a supplement with that meal. You have to drink X amount of whatever with that meal. So, but my regular menus that I have from her, I mean, I used to get, cauliflower pizza for dinner, tacos for dinner. So it's not like, you know, it's not really like, oh my God, ew.
I was about to say tacos for dinner.
Yeah.
So what we could do is like pull up one of your past.
Except, y'all, it was 1 ounce of chicken. Remember?
Per taco.
Per taco. I was like, what? It's mostly tortilla at that point.
And then depending on what kind of tortilla, like there's those little crispy ones.
And those are the only ones that were on it. Remember the crispy tacos? Y'all, they're so, I think it's 2 taco shells end up being like 50 calories, 40 calories. It's like very low.
Thin.
They're super thin to where pretty much when you pull it out of the package, it's probably going to be already broken.
Yeah, they're already starting to break.
Yeah, they're so thin. But they're healthy. The numbers on it are super good.
Okay, so if I say tacos for dinner, should it be that shell?
I mean, I'm sure I can just do a regular corn tortilla.
Instead of those? Okay. All right, so in order to pull out whatever macros we're trying to hit for you, we have to reference one of those old menus. No? So pull out one of the old menus and just write down the numbers, like each meal is 500 calories, whatever it is. And then we reverse engineer it. Like, all right, so your breakfast is now going to be, Greek yogurt with blah, blah, blah. And then you get like some eggs or whatever.
I really like my
eggs,
waffles, bacon, and the boiled eggs is what I haven't been doing.
But
I absolutely love that because they're easy. I make them for the week for the girls. They're already there. That's my breakfast. So it's that with bacon. Now, it's not supposed to be regular bacon. It's supposed to be turkey bacon. But gross. I don't like turkey bacon. It's too chewy.
I like swine on mine.
Exactly.
I like a little.
If you like swine, eat it. I want you to tell me in the comments.
Swine.
Hello.
If you like a little pork on your fork.
I do that too. Ooh, them little pork patties. Them are good.
Okay, so boom, we already figured out 2 of the meals. For dinner, it's gonna be.
All right, y'all. Y'all can do this too if you're trying to get. If you're trying to get right for the summer.
So for dinner, it'll be like something like ground beef or any type of protein, pretty much.
Yeah, but you got to have these also. The snacks have to be ready. That's partial too.
Well, we haven't even done lunch. I'm just saying, you know what breakfast is, and you kind of know what dinner is. Just, what I mean? All right, boom. So.
I liked the pasta with chicken. That was a good one.
It was like a little bit of Italian dressing.
With, I really have been. That's convenient too. But that's convenient, but I've also been liking those salads from Whole Foods. They just get pricey, because you're buying 2 of them. It's $18. You know what I'm saying?
But one of them can makes 2 meals.
Makes 2 meals. So it'd be 4 meals out of that one.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm sure this is okay, I'm tuning out now at this point.
No, this is the best part because they're like, are we doing this shit or not?
Yeah, if y'all want to jump on this bandwagon, let's make this meal. Now, for men, it's going to be totally different.
You gotta have more protein.
And the reason why I'm saying, Chingo's trying to do this no carbs after 2 thing. Where did you get that from?
Who did I hear? Oh, I think it was Cameron Haynes.
Okay, so he does no carb. He's trying to do the no carbs after 2.
Not necessarily. It's just a little...
but listen, but everything you eat has carbs. But I get what I guess we're talking about rice, like any bread, anything like that.
Yeah,
is that what that's?
So your dinner probably could be like.
Well, if you think about it, that's what my dinner used to be with Christine. It was protein and a vegetable. My last meal never had a carb. Never.
Never really. Okay.
Unless it was
it's a bodybuilder thing.
Yeah, but unless. It was like I was bulking. Then it was rice, chicken, and a vegetable.
Yeah, it was still measured though. It was
still completely measured, of course. Cup. But I'm just saying, and then once you're trying to lean, it was like that last meal always was just there was no carb. Lunch had a carb always, but dinner did not always have a carb. Which I guess now going back thinking about what you're saying, that makes sense why this guy does no carbs after 2. Because none of my meals, now that I think about it, was a carb. Well, no. Because, see, I'd save my sweet potato. Y'all, if y'all have never done sweet potato with peanut butter and cinnamon, my God. Listen, I know y'all think I'm crazy.
A little honey drizzle.
Y'all, this is the best healthy dessert you'll have.
Go and sprinkle a little sea salt.
Okay, it was supposed to be 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, but y'all, I did the whole spoon, and I did on my peanut.
The whole jar is balancing on the spoon.
And let me tell y'all, it has to be super hot so that the peanut butter melts.
Come on.
And then you sprinkle the cinnamon on top.
Ooh,
And I haven't done the
roasted.
I haven't done the honey yet, but
what about
that
honey roasted peanuts? Ooh.
Well, that's the only kind of peanut butter I eat.
Come on now.
Honey roasted.
That's what they serve at Marisol.
That's the only, and it's got to be the kind from HEB that they grind there.
Right there at the heat.
Right there. I don't like that made.
Hey, what if you find out HEB is short for Hebrew?
Oh, dang. That's messed up, Chingo Bling.
And they made up the here, everything's better.
No, hombre.
Everything in our fridge is HEB. The mayo.
Yeah,
Did you try that Japanese mayo we have right there?
I've only tried it with the cucumber salad. It was good in the cucumber salad, remember?
It's fire. That Q-pie, how you say it? Q-pie?
I don't know, but everybody uses that.
It's fire.
It's like, I told Lisa, I was like, when she asked me for mayonnaise for the, I was like, why don't you use this? I bet you the chicken salad she makes would be 10 times better if she used that. Don't you think?
Hell yeah. It's crazy. That Japanese mayo is crazy.
And y'all, I could easily ask my nanny she's great at flavoring everything. Mm-hmm. So I could probably ask her to make our chicken. Mm-hmm. And the chicken's done. And then ask her to make me a whole thing of beef.
I'm trying to learn how she makes that one chicken that's like almost like fried with onion. You know what I'm talking about?
The one that she shreds?
Mm-hmm. So she boils it first. I'll be peeping game.
She rete boils it.
Yeah. Well, she boils it first, and
I really don't know how she still makes it juicy, even though
because she probably has oil.
Man,
she'll fry it after that.
Y'all, she literally has this phobia of like uncooked meat, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But she'll boil the crap out of the chicken, and then she cooks it again to make sure that it's really cooked. It's the craziest thing I've seen. I'm like, did you just boil it and now you're cooking it again?
Yeah, and you know why? It makes sense though, because it's almost like a cooking technique to get that desired result. So basically, like, if she were to just go straight to the last step, like skip the boil, if she just had like a hot pan with the onions and the oil and then threw raw chicken in there, like, it'll work and it'll come out juicy. It'll come out a certain way. But doing it the way where it's like, no, I'm going to boil it first. Now it's already cooked. Now I'm not worried about cooking. Now she's more so rehydrating it with the fat and giving it a crisp texture because now it's like frying in fat. And then that's how it gets that little, like, what would you call that texture? That, like, dry, not like beef jerky, but juicy.
It's like crispy. I don't really know how she does it, but she used to have her own...
It's almost like chicken
food truck in Mexico, so that's how she knows how to make.
She had like 10 businesses in there.
And she ran them all.
Because she's so hyper.
Yeah.
Until it got a little crazy out there.
Yeah, she's told us some crazy stories, y'all, about how the cartels would come and...
The little, local...
I wonder why she didn't apply for asylum. Does Mexico not offer that?
Well, from what I understand, right? Layman's terms, if I'm not mistaken, Mexico's considered like a stable-ish country to where it's not in the same category as somebody coming from somewhere like Cuba. Cuba, it's like, nah, y'all have a communist dictator. Like, like, come on in. Like, we'll take y'all. Y'all are refugees for real. Because so many people abuse the system too and just make up shit. Like, oh, hey, especially bad people. Especially, I know, but like, especially bad people. Like, for example, you could be like, hypothetically, a terrorist from Syria, and you just give a sob story about, no, back home, man, they killed my brother and they were after me, and I'm a good guy, nothing, you know, I just want to get away from that, and then they lie their way into like, oh, I got preferential treatment, and I'm here to cause trouble. So because of that, it's almost kind of like people like Luisa, sorry I'm saying names, who actually like might have a good claim. It's kind of like, yeah, you got to probably get in line.
Yeah, I mean, because they abandon who wants to abandon their home? Mm-hmm. They abandon their home.
Well, some people do for like economic migrant.
But, I mean, she wasn't trying to abandon her house.
Yeah, no, she had all them businesses. She was forced.
She was not trying to come over here at all. She lived fine. Like, financially, she lived fine, you know. Her husband was a bus driver, you know. So, like the kind that go, you know, what do you call those kind of buses?
Like a Greyhound?
Like a Greyhound, yeah, but they go all over the U.S. They don't go from Mexico to here. He drove, and it's like they're hired from Mexico. It's quite interesting. I forgot what she was telling me. So he's done that for years. Yeah, those are my kids, y'all. If y'all hear noise, we let them entertain themselves upstairs so that we can do this episode. So I'm afraid to go upstairs in a little bit just to see what's been happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, so she was fine, which is the crazy thing. Which I guess Cafecito Time's not supposed to be political, but if we're gonna if this discussion, I guess, is such a debate, right? Because for me, this whole thing about pack your shit and go, and then apply the right way is such a it's such a harsh thing for me. Because I feel like not everybody's a bad person. And I get it. If I went to go live in Germany and Spain, anywhere like that, I'd be an immigrant. I'd have to do things the right way. There'd be no excuse. I would not get benefits. I would have to do everything under the table. I completely get all that. But when you have people who have lived here 15 years, 20 years, and they're still not a citizen, or have any type of legal permission to be here, how are you going to send them back, bro?
Well, I think part of the problem is when you have so much I don't know if the word would be just abuse and fraud of so many people getting so many benefits. And I know not everybody gets benefits and so on and so forth. But it's like if you got everybody from everywhere coming in, getting all the just, taking up an apartment that now an American is like, damn, ain't that many, all the rents done went up. You know what I mean? Or taking the job. I know some people, it's jobs nobody wants to do. But let's overall, just over the top. Like, for example, the 10,000 Haitians they dropped off in that little bitty town. I
know, but I think there needs to be something that says, we need you to show us that you've been living here a minimum of 10 years, right? Because I think 10 years is a long time. Have you ever been in trouble? No.
Do you get benefits?
Do you get benefits? No. Do you pay taxes through this EIN or whatever? Yes. Okay. What fine do you pay, right? Because I do feel like you should pay a fine, right? Some kind of fine. Not some ridiculous shit to where they're like, oh, yeah, well, they can't afford that. That's how they're going to go back. Don't do that. Don't do some ridiculous-ass fine because, whatever. Let's just say it's $1,000 fine, right? And that fine is actually used to, help you start maybe getting the process of getting your... Is it green card first? Is that what it is? Or is it just I don't know what it is. Permission?
It just depends on...
Do you know?
No, it just depends. I think it just
Okay, so whatever the first step is, whatever that first step is to getting that, right? Then they should be given that, If you just got here 3 years ago, dang it, I'm sorry for you, but we're full, Yeah. It's a really sticky situation. Yeah, I just feel like all the ones that came in during the Biden administration, and that's why
that's about a good 20 million right there.
And that's why I said in the last 4 years, I guess, or however, if you've only been here that long, then you were probably a product of this past administration. And those are the ones I feel like, okay, y'all came in just,
There's a lot of different groups of people that should go, right?
Right.
So if you got you're a Chilean house burglar that's setting up cameras near Beverly Hills to wait to see when the celebrities leave to run up in their house. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, look. It's there's so many different levels and so many different people taking advantage of the system and on the back of the taxpayer to where now in one clean swoop they're saying, hey, if y'all want to deport yourselves and avoid fines and then leave on a clean record and come back. They're having to present all these things because you got a whole bunch of people that are on SNAP, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, California. Like, basically, when Obama said, if you're a citizen, you're going to get a fine. The citizen's going to get a fine if they don't get their health insurance. And all that's going to go up. And at the same time, we're going to give it for free to illegals, right? So it just turns into this big old mess where it's now the good ones that are like, they don't cause any trouble, they're not causing any harm, whatever. Like, all the good ones are now in the crosshairs because the Venezuelan kid in Manhattan who wanted to be robbing people and punching police. You know what I mean? So it's like...
Well, let me tell you something. When I find it, maybe you can put it in the show notes, right? But there's this Mexican girl who's got a YouTube channel, and she went over to San Diego. I guess, what is that, Juarez? It's right there?
No, San Diego's Tijuana.
Tijuana. And she goes over to the other side and asks people, like, how do you feel about Donald Trump, right? Like, the administration, all the deportation, blah, 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 right? 90%, I hate to say this, of the Hispanics that are over here working, they think it's great because, you know what? It's crazy. They said they come over here and just take advantage of all the benefits. And we're talking about people that are either A, on a green card, they're not quite citizens yet, but they come, you know. Mm-hmm. And then she interviewed this girl who is a U.S. citizen, but lives in Tijuana. Because she says it's so expensive to live in California, she can't afford it. Yeah. So she says she comes to work in San Diego, and then they do all their medical stuff in San Diego. They don't even go to Mexico to do it because they get the Medi-Cal, yeah. So they cross over to do that. And she said there's a whole community, I don't know where it is, in Tijuana, of Americans that live there and cross over to work. There was another guy that she stopped and she was like, so what do you think about this? And she was like, and, you know, he was like, so are you legal? I don't know what she said. She goes, oh, no, I didn't say I was illegal. I'm legal. And she goes, I'm just saying it was funny, though, because he was like, no, boo-boo, I'm legal. I'm just saying y'all illegals need to not be here. It was funny, though, because she was like, wait, so you're not illegal? She's like, no. And so she kind of felt like, how are you going to talk about your own people like that? But I thought it was funny, you know, because he was like, no, que se vayan, porque pues no hicieron el trabajo. Uno hizo el trabajo para poder, you know. And I think I've said this story before too in my podcast, you know, when my mom and I, you know, before I didn't really understand how everything worked, that's one of the things my mom and I could never see eye to eye when we would talk about politics. Because my thing is like, you were also an immigrant. My mom saw it as, but I never asked for a handout. I didn't come over here for a handout. We came up, first of all, my mom never wanted to come here. It was my dad, because my dad's family was here. If it was up to my mom's like, your dad had a great job in Mexico. We weren't a struggling person. And so they came here to visit my grandparents who were already here. My dad got a job for the summer while they were here. And then it was like, damn, look how much money we can make. Why would we go back? My mom's like, what? Like, no. You said we were going back. Why are we going to stay here? But my dad found such a good job. For him, it was like, I'll never see this kind of money.
Yeah, the dollar compared.
Exactly. So it was like, oh my God.
Migrant.
But my grandparents never asked for, they were never on food stamps. They were never on, what's the other one? Medicaid or Gold Card. I don't even know if that was a thing in the 70s. Maybe it wasn't around. Or maybe there wasn't those type of resources readily available for immigrants. I don't know.
Now
in
they're
the
chasing
70s.
down to give it to you, right?
Yeah, I don't know, because my grandparents came over here in the 70s. So my parents came in 77, 78. And my grandparents were already here in 74. So my parents came a little bit like later, after my grandparents had already been here like 2 years or something. And, you know, so my mom kind of felt like, yeah, we came here. My mom's like, yo andaba vendiendo donas. And I remember that because I was walking around with her. I've told you the story. Like, we'd walk around parking lots selling. I was little. I'm the firstborn. So we'd walk around. My mom was out there with my grandmother selling donuts, selling tamales. Like, they'd walk, like the same way they do people. That's why when I see those people in the parking lot, it breaks my heart. Like when they're selling tamales, because that's what my mom and my grandmother would do.
Do you know some of the hot dog carts, like in California? I don't know if you heard about this controversy, because we just talked about San Diego.
Mm.
So there's this controversy, like in the gas lamp area, where you have these businesses, these bars and stuff, restaurants, spending top dollar for that real estate. It's like, we're in the gas lamp, we're here, we're spending, we got all this overhead.
Yeah, we've been there. Yeah.
So like labor costs, right? You want to have a business there. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, this person has a hot dog cart now, right in front. So everybody's, if you're hungry and you're around shopping, walking, and killing time, well, you might have killed your little hunger with that little hot dog, and now you're not going into these places. And now these places are having to shut down. So it's like a trickle effect. And the 9 times out of 10, if I'm not mistaken, those particular people with those carts, it's not even like a hustler entrepreneur doing it out on their own. It's they're working for a crime organization to pay back their smuggling fees. See what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, well, wait a minute. On the surface, it's like, hey, why y'all worried if they have a permit? Why y'all hating on them? Stop being racist. And it's like, nah, this is a city. We got to pay all this stuff because we're trying to have this business right here. Besides, y'all working to pay off y'all's debt. Y'all are indentured servants, like being exploited out here. And it's causing this ripple effect.
Also, I feel like sometimes that's why I feel traveling is very important. Traveling is very, very important. And your perspective on different cultures and how things are ran in around the world, you'll understand why we do need regulations, why you do need rules, why you can't just come to another country and just live there. You know, like a lot of these things would not, I mean, let's just talk about China alone. Mm-hmm. I mean, how was China when we went? Wasn't nobody committing crimes and, you know, I didn't see nobody not following the rules.
Not when we were. There was no homeless. Begging,
I mean, we went to the ugly part too when we were going to the airport.
By Beijing.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean, it was smoggy as hell, but I didn't see.
Well, they're not going to let you go buy farmland near their military bases. They're not going to let you post up like business-wise or. But
okay, so let's just talk about Japan or Korea, where you're not allowed to even leave. In Japan, you can't go to a coffee shop and walk around with your coffee in your hand. You're not doing that because you're not going to dirty their city. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if you travel around the world, you'd understand that the things that are in place in every country is for a reason. Some way, somehow or another, somebody did something to F it up for the next person who maybe could come in this certain kind of way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think unless you travel or unless you're somebody who actually loves to read and understand law and how things are supposed to work, you know.
It's basically like what you're saying is countries have the right to want to preserve their culture and heritage.
You have to.
But sometimes people here in America feel so entitled that they think that the minute you tell them...
Because we're so entitled. We are. We have so many great things because of... Hence, today is Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Our freedom is it's not free. You know? Like somebody did something for us so that we could run around talking shit and feeling like we can do anything here. Anything. This is why so many people want to come here. It's the land of the free. Mm-hmm. You know? So you can't do anything you want to do, you know, in other countries. That's not how it works. Which is why, again, I will say, unless you have traveled and really see how other countries work,
you check your entitlement and not accuse everything of racism. Like, hey, don't litter. Oh, you're being racist. Or whatever. Like here, they let the murderers out. Like, oh, we ain't got enough whatever. So the murderer's walking around.
Just like I told you the other day that I was watching something about homelessness and how they were saying that it costs us more money to let the homeless be on the street than it does to house them and try to treat them in a facility or to give them stuff. How is that even possible? That it costs us more money for them to be on the street?
Well, factor in where that money goes. Is it going to overpaid salaries of these organizations that say they're helping?
Wait, which one? Which are you saying?
It costs more to let them be out on the street,
correct,
drugged out. Why does it cost more to let them be out on the street, drugged out? Where's that money going? Is it because programs for these overpaid salaries of these people who say they're combating this situation, but really it's like they're incentivizing these people to be shooting up, congregating, and then they're like, oh, but we need more money from the legislature and the state capitol so that we can continue to help battle this. It's like, okay, well, what are you doing? Oh, well, I get $180,000 a year to be the board of director of the whatever, and this person gets $90,000 a year, and this one gets $120 a year because we're helping. It's like, well, how are you helping? Oh, we're coming up with these pamphlets to tell them where to go get clean needles, and then we're gonna give out blankets on a Friday.
And I think she said it cost 170 something thousand per homeless, and it's costing like millions for them to be on the street. Is that not crazy? So when I heard that, I was like,
backwards.
What? I was like, so it'd be cheaper to have all these homeless that are on the street.
Basically, somebody's scamming the money, and from what it's starting to look like, those that are making all the money are the ones that know how to just be scamming. Like all the stuff that Elon and Doge found that they won't even put it into law. Like they won't even make the cuts. You know what I mean? Like the Congress or whatever is not making the cuts.
It's just very evil. Everything that's happening is very evil. That's all I have to say. Everything that's going on is very evil. It's evil that they let this little old man run our country and he's had cancer for Lord knows how long. You know, they should be very ashamed of themselves.
Go to the beach. It's like, yeah, he's freaking dying. Let him go to the
his
beach.
wife, seriously, I told you this the other day. I want to know when Judgment Day comes.
Where's she going?
What God's going to say to her. Like, how dare you do that to your husband? Like, how did you let him?
Draws on.
Like, you know, like I just really like.
It was a coup. It was a coup. They basically stole the country.
I know, but that's messed up. I mean, as much as that man ruined our country for the last, I don't know how many years, it's still messed up that his administration and his wife were all okay with that happening.
Cognitively impaired, mentally,
I mean,
like dementia and cancer. And y'all got them running around, falling and shit.
Everybody should honestly...
Hold on, motherfucker, y'all let him get on the bike?
Exactly. That's so messed up.
Get Pawpaw off the bike.
That's why he was falling. That's why... That's so... I mean, as it is, it was always...
Get him on the bike.
It was already, like, too much for this old man to be out there anyway, but...
And y'all wanted him to speak in complete sentences
I mean,
in the afternoon?
That whole thing is ridiculous, and I can't believe...
And you think he had the nuclear codes? Or like, who all was... AutoPen. You heard about AutoPen?
Mm-mm.
Where thousands of like pardons, executive orders, like Supreme Court justice selection, all these official things that were happening were like auto stamp. It's almost like, imagine like an artist being like a vegetable, like brain dead, but his handlers are signing off on shit. Like, yeah, this art, you know, whoever, right? Is this person, he'll go to Vegas and perform, and they're just collecting deposits. And it's like, he didn't sign that. So that's like a very weird comparison, because we're talking about like the leader of the free world, like #1 country. We're supposed to be having all this foreign policy, import, export, domestic, like tariffs, like negotiations, deals, nuclear stuff, treaties, Supreme Court justice. And then imagine this. Imagine if they had let him run and Kamala was VP, and then they come out and say, oh, guess what, y'all? Thank y'all for voting Biden in. But look, he's sick. So everybody say hello to the first black female president.
Now, I do wonder, I do wonder what the conversation was like when they said, "Y'all, I think it's time we let people know that he's got cancer."
Or that book
Like
came
what the conversation was, and is it because he doesn't have that much time left, and we need to let the people know, or is it because like what was that meeting like? I would love to be like a fly on the wall for that meeting of like, y'all. We got to start. Like we can't. This can't continue. Like we can't continue to with this lie. The lie's getting so big, y'all. We've run out of lie. It's the big lie. Yeah, we've run out.
And then you know what's trippy is if you were on Twitter or any of these pages saying like, "Hey man, Biden ain't all there. He's super old, and like it's not a stutter, it's not a cold." Like, we're telling y'all he can't do interviews. It's like, oh, but behind the scenes, he's sharp as a tack. I mean, this guy knows everything about foreign policy.
Kamala continued to say that he was on top of it. He
everybody,
worked with it.
Nancy Pelosi,
I mean, it's insane. Like, I told you.
And if you noticed it, you were called a conspiracy.
But my thing is this, like, every time we have conversations about this, and usually it's over coffee, guys, in the morning, I think to myself, like, how do you sleep at night? How can you be that evil to where you're like, or want to have that much power?
They want to run.
How do you want to have that much power to where you're okay with being evil? My brain, it doesn't like, I can't compute it.
Everybody was in on it. The media was in on it. Now they want to turn around and put out a book. Like, oh, the administration hid it, and we didn't know. We're just journalists. I mean, we thought. It's like, come on, CNN. Like, come on, Jake Tapper.
I knew. I'm sorry.
And if you were calling it out, you're just like, oh, Trump is mean for saying, look, he doesn't even know what he said. I don't know what he just said. Does he know? I don't even think he knows.
I wonder if Trump knew.
I think he knows some shit. He knows something because... I mean, everybody knew something was off about
But I wonder if
he
knew,
thing.
He just had to keep his mouth shut, or like how that happened.
Or when did he find out about the cancer thing? Like, hey, Trump, like, yo, hey, bro, Biden got cancer, dog, and he's had it for 10 years. They've known, and he had it while he was president, and all this shit about to come out. Oh, who is his doctor? I'm going to tweet about it. It's like, no, not yet, sir.
Yeah.
I'm just, entre nos, sir.
Yeah.
I'm going to tweet about it right now.
Man, it's crazy times.
Treasonous times. Matrix times.
I'm really trying to have faith in Trump. Yeah. That all this craziness that he's doing is going to work in our favor. I hope it happens before he goes out of office, because then I don't know what's going to happen after that.
When do we get the Epstein list?
I'm waiting on that.
When does somebody get arrested? What's up with Diddy?
Somebody tell me what's up with Diddy.
Somebody, please.
Y'all, we were watching some... Okay, we're going to have to leave that for our next episode, because it's getting long here. Y'all are... We already had y'all on here for an hour. But the next one has to be about Diddy, because we watched a crazy little... What is that, a documentary thing?
Was it a CNN?
Yeah, something.
It's you know what I'm noticing? A lot of the YouTube ones where they would interview the same people... It's like you're hearing their story like slightly different, like a different, you know what I mean? But like, where they go and tell their story again, like that dude Gene Deal.
But I think the one we watched was 60 Minutes Australia.
That's probably what it was. So they're having to go and tell their same type of story to all these different.
Yeah, and this one was the personal assistant.
Yeah, the security guard, Glasses Malone, that female who was like in one of his singing groups.
In Making the Band.
One of those, yeah. And the whole time, I'm trying to figure out the time frame. Like, every time they say he was throwing these sex parties for the past, and I'm trying to hear the year, because I'm like, was he already doing this?
Well, they said 1990 something.
Yeah, so supposedly, like, from the beginning, there was some shit. But how specific did they get? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm trying to put the timeline together.
I'm almost positive they said 1994.
There was freak-offs? Or he beat up a girlfriend.
I think it was the beating up.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
I think the freak off started in 2004.
So he must have been 1 year in freaking off.
2004, when When did he get his label, the bad boy label? Like when that happened,
was in the late 90s.
Okay, I think if I remember correctly, the year was 2004.
That's when he started freaking off.
I think so, but don't quote me.
Well, I was dealing with him in 2005, so he was only a year in.
Oh my God, te salvaste. Otherwise, I hubieras ahí también tú.
Todo greasy.
They'd have you on video. Y'all, there's... And then they were showing us...
They drugged him.
Hey, there's a video. What was the video, babe? And I was like, there were signs. There were signs since day one.
It was a song with... Was that Nelly? Who was that? Was it Nelly?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, y'all. We're going to end it because our kids are starting to need attention.
Number 2 just walked in. She's
like
just videotaping.
She's like she's wearing a no-gi rash guard.
Yeah, and she just keeps videotaping. She took my phone. Oh, and she's filming
wasting
still.
all your battery,
look at that.
All your footage, all your memory. All right, y'all. This concludes Cafecito Time. Happy Memorial Day. You want to tell them bye real quick?
Yep. Thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
About to hit the pool. Don't forget Albuquerque, May 29th through the 31st at Hyenas. After that, I'm in California for the entire month of June. Everything from Fresno to San Diego and in between. Hit up the website, chingobling.com. Peace.
Bye.